Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi. How you doing? How's everything going, family? I really do pray, family, that you are well in absolutely all your ways, and that you're moving into living life very much in your own narrative, in your own life, in your own story, because it's all about the narrative, family, and your own narrative is the only vehicle that will take you out of the pit of hell into the heaven of on earth that many of us, well, let me not say many of us, but some of us are living. I'm reporting live and direct from 5D reality. I'm not sure where Errol is. Errol! But from Errol and I, we're just living the dream, family, living literally our best lives. And I just come on here, family, to let you know that it's about that time to start living in your own reality. Yep, here's shout out to Errol, my, co-host. How you doing? Just loving life, family. Although now he's going to start, now he's going to start misbehaving. Errol, come on. So family, someone sent me this story the other day about how the divided states has now approved lab-grown meat to be sold in the supermarkets. Okay, Errol, we just wanted to say hi. Chill. Come on, stop it. So family, in the divided states, lab-grown meat is cleared for sale. This is just a further sign that the new reality is coming. The new prison planet is literally being unfolded. And they said, cultivated meat, which is also known as lab-grown meat, has been cleared for sale in the divided states. Upside Food and Goat Meat, two companies that make what they called cultivated chicken, said Wednesday that they had gotten approval from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to stop producing their cell-based proteins. And also there's a company called Good Meat, which was owned by plant-based egg substitute maker Eat Just. And they said that the production is starting immediately. They said cultivated or lab-grown meat is grown in a giant vat, whatever that is, much like you'd find at a beer brewery. So how can you control what they're putting in this meat? Family, they are literally changing society as we know it. They're literally bringing in their new world order. I mean, not bringing it in, it's already here. And now they're unfolding everything. Where if you want to eat, it's going to have to be through them. If you want to eat, drink, you're going to have to trust their water. Whatever they put in the water, whether it's fluoride, whether it's whatever. And let's not forget how there's been research that's been coming out recently, which has been talking about how they can now put vaccines in plants and all this stuff. So this is like the final point of their agenda, where they have total control over the food production of cities and countries. But they're going to go for the zombie states, family, where you have those mega buildings where people are living literally like rats on top of each other, like animals or like ants, where people don't have their own garden. People don't even know how to plant food. This has been a long, long game. Because when all of this started, nearly every family around the world had their little subsistence farm. Even in Europe, they'll tell you about how the Italians survived because they had their tomatoes and their small garden of greens and vegetables, etc., etc. Here in Africa, there was always a surplus of food. Always, family. And slowly, through this whole globalization and modernization, by getting people to accept that story. And they've sold globalization on it being cool. Because it's crazy how many, young people moved to the cities across Africa in the last 10, 20 years because it was cool, because they were bored in the village. But now in countries like Kenya, a lot of them are moving back because now, we have devolution, long story. But in Kenya, we have, the governments have now devolved their power. So there's more power among, they've created counties, a very top-heavy government, wasting a lot of money, but they've actually managed to pull people out of the cities again. And for those who know, a lot of people are building their off-grid homes without even knowing it. It's always been a thing to have a house in your village. And because most villages won't have electricity, et cetera, you end up putting the solar panels and all this stuff. So there's been a lot of reverse migration back to the village family. But there's still a lot of young minds who feel that the city is where it's at. And that's where you're going to get trapped. I mean, that's the only reason I'm sharing this story, family. Because food is the ultimate weapon. Because if they're controlling what you're eating, then they really are controlling your narrative, because they're controlling what you're able to think about. Because on this plane, your body as the vehicle that moves around this plane, but a bit deeper than just a vehicle, has authority. And literally your mind is as weak as your body. A weak mind finds it very hard to operate, a mind, let me not say even a weak mind, a mind finds it very hard to operate in a weak body. Because everything takes energy, family. And so there's been attacks for decades. All these things that we think we do to help us, family, have actually been slowly weakening the body, dumbing down the body, bringing the vibration of the body down. Because you are as strong as your weakest link. I know you've heard that. They say that as a group. A group is as strong as its weakest link. But you yourself, you have several bodies. You have your spiritual body. You have your emotional body. You have your mental body. You have your psychic body. And this physical body. So if they weaken your physical body, it's the rest of your system can only do so much. Your spiritual life can only grow to a certain level. That's why whenever you're going through a major initiation or a major ascension or a major transformation, you will be led to go either fully vegan or vegetarian. And then when you hit a plateau, different options may be open to you. Be it fish, if you're by the ocean and you know the fisherman and you're seeing him every morning going to catch the fish, or chicken, which you're growing and are running around in your own yard. The most I'll do for red meat is goat meat, family, which are ancient ones used for rituals, which the Agikoyo or the Bantu use for spiritual purposes. Very long story. But I share this just to remind you again to really gain control of your life. There are 5 ways that Babylon can take control of your life. If they control what you're eating, if they control your source of water, if they control your source of work or your source of economy, if they control where you live or your shelter. And if they control how you move. So when I say create your own narrative, it's to start to envision yourself living on your own terms. When I say living on your own terms, that means at least 50 to 60% of the food you're eating is coming from either farmers, local farmers, your own garden, that you are in control, so that if the government shuts down, your life would continue, family. And that's why some of us live in the middle of nowhere. in our village, in our communities. And many magical people are moving where I am, family. Magical good and magical bad. Well, I mean, good and bad balance, stories for other days. But this is the time to really start to think about that and to craft your new narrative with a storyline where you're in touch with who is giving you your food. You own your home. And even if you're in a situation where now, maybe even financially, I'm speaking like it's a dream, like how would you ever get the money to do that? Start to create it. Start creating vision boards, because family, we are no longer operating on the time of the matrix. We are in spiritual time, which means that you can manifest things in a very spiritual way. But those are stories for other days. If you'd like me to get into that, definitely let me know in the comments below. Special shout out to every single person that donates to us or, supports us through Patreon. Definitely consider supporting us through Patreon, family, where we do give exclusive information. And we have also started once again to give very exclusive books that you should have in your library, and help us to continue to bring the awakening people to the world. Until next time, Tuko pamoja.